Everybody, new school comic book reviews. Let's just jump into it. First thing I have is Shutter. I've got the image first for $1, and I also got a second printing of the second issue. I basically picked this up just because I was always kind of curious about it, and Ghost Critic is always talking about this comic, so I finally decided to give it a shot, and I pretty much enjoyed it. The writing is by Joe Keating, and the art is by Lila Del Duca. Basically, the story follows this young woman here. She's more or less an adventurer in a new, or I should say, in a kind of future world. And it's kind of a lighthearted, crazy, anything goes type of universe. You know, there's people with animal heads, there's flying cars and all kinds of crazy sort of things going on. It kind of made me think of that sort of lighthearted, maybe Doctor Who-ish uh, type of fantasy, type of comic, or type of adventure, I should say. It's not really hard science. It's just really sort of lighthearted and frenzied, and yeah, and basically I enjoyed it. So I'm probably going to try to track down subsequent issues. They're at issue 7 or 8 now, something like that. But yeah, I'm glad I finally gave this comic book a shot. Next, Ms. Marvel number 11 by G. Willow Wilson, and artist by Adrian Alfona. Basically, this is pretty much the wrap up of the first big adventure for Ms. Marvel. Basically, she has to fight the inventor, who is this kind of talking bird mad scientist guy, and the other kids who went missing in the neighborhood that she was trying to find. This is her like best friend or whatever. Kind of actually end up helping out. And there's also a cameo by Lockjaw, who is the Inhumans dog. A fun issue, big conclusion, big fight, big giant robots and everything. But it's fun, it's sweet, satisfying conclusion, and yeah, it's just a really fun comic book, and I really enjoy it. It'll be interesting to see where they take the character now, as far as, are they going to give her a rogues gallery? Are they going to keep everything pretty street level? Are they going to get more into this whole sort of family thing and whatnot? But yeah, this is probably one of Marvel's best comics right now. Speaking of something that used to be one of Marvel's best comics, this is Hawkeye 21 with Matt Fraction and David Aja. This comic book is extraordinarily late. The rumor is that David Aja was having some problems as far as getting the art done, just because things were going on in his personal life or whatnot. Plus, at the same time, I don't think it's any secret that Matt Fraction is planning on leaving Marvel right now. And you see he's doing lots of indie work and whatnot. This particular issue, we're kind of picking up where the tracksuit mafia, the tracksuit Draculas, the mob guys, are going to make an assault against the apartment building where Clint lives, and it's him and his neighbors decide they're going to make one final stand against these guys. Pretty interesting. We're getting back to the serious part of the adventures, and yeah, it's a solid issue for what it is. Like I said, it being late all the time kind of hurt the momentum of this comic book. But it's still a decent comic book, I guess. Once this storyline ends, which is in the next issue, I guess they're going to relaunch Hawkeye with a brand new #1 by I think The writer's going to be Jeff Lemire, and do they say who the artist is? Yeah, the art is going to be by Ramon Perez. So I'm sure they'll probably take it in a completely different direction. It wouldn't be smart to try to replicate exactly what Fraction and Aja did here. But this is worth getting if you've been reading Hawkeye. Like I said, it just being late all the time kind of slowed down the momentum. But yeah, decent issue. Nameless by Grant Morrison and Chris Burnham. I'm not so sure I really understood this comic. It's more Grant Morrison trippiness, and I guess the main character is some dude with no name, and he's being chased by these frog-headed guys for the first half of the issue, and it looks like they're going in and out of reality and in and out of the dream world or whatever. There's some statement about he was hired by someone to steal a dream key, and they sort of kind of explain what's going on by the time you get to the end of the issue. But I'm not sure I understood it. Like I said, I didn't dislike it. Like I said, I'll just have to reread it to really get what's going on. I'll probably give it a few more issues just to see. But yeah. Next, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl #2. Written by Ryan North and the artist by Erica Henderson. In this issue, it starts with Doreen. She's just starting college, and she's trying to fit in and be popular. Here she's somewhere where they're having the different clubs you can join and whatnot, and she sees a guy she's kind of got a crush on, and she's talking back and forth with her roommate and stuff like that. And I'll say a good deal of it. I'll say these first several pages just really have to do with Doreen, the dorky college student. But anyway, eventually one of the Tippy Toe, her squirrel, lets her know that Galactus is on his way to Earth. And nobody else knows about it because Galactus has some sort of cloaking device. And but for whatever reason, it just doesn't work on squirrels. So Doreen decides that she has to get to the moon to stop Galactus. But the rest of the issue is, how is she going to actually get there get to the moon? To even do it to begin with. It's a silly comic book, and it made me laugh. That's it. It's funny, it's silly, it's goofy, it's dorky, it's nonsensical, and good. Marvel's a better company for publishing it. You know what I mean? It's I don't know what else to say. It's also kind of funny that I think a lot of people, or I shouldn't say a lot, but a fair number of people I've seen online complain about Doreen doesn't look cute anymore. She doesn't look hot. I mean, dude, it's just a silly comedy thing, and everybody doesn't need to look like they're a Playboy model. I have no problem with super characters looking like Playboy models, but it's okay to have a silly comedy thing where somebody's a little bit chunky and a little bit goofy and it has an overbite. And like I said, yeah, awesome stuff here. I'm digging Squirrel Girl. Next comic book is Ant-Man #2 by Nick Spencer, and the art is by Ramon Rosanas. I really, really, really enjoyed this comic book. It really was a lot of fun. A lot of humor, kind of lighthearted again. Basically, what this issue is about is Scott is in Florida, living with his living with his daughter, and and the thing is, he needs a job, because otherwise his ex-wife isn't going to let his daughter stay there with him. So he goes to the bank and tries to get a small businessman's loan. And first they deny him because hey, he's been in jail. He's not. He doesn't have a permanent address or anything like that. And then they find out that something bad happens at the bank, and of course Scott has to help out without giving up too much away. But like I said, it is a really fun issue. I really love the art here. Really slick, really clean, but still tight and detailed. And I'd say the same thing goes for the writing. Decent plot, lots of good dialogue, lots of funny bits, but at the same time, something's at stake. It isn't just slapsticky the same way that Squirrel Girl was. But I really liked it. I'm really interested in seeing how far Nick Spencer is going to be, how long I should say Nick Spencer is going to be on the comic, if he's just going to be here for an arc or two, or if he's in it for the long haul. But I really, really enjoyed this comic. I kind of thought, well, okay, of course they've got an Ant-Man comic book in. Marvel's got to cash in on a movie or whatever, and that's undoubtedly true. But they have given us a really decent comic book to go along with it, so I thought that was great. Other comic books I got this week that I have not read yet. Got Annihilator by Grant Morrison. This came out several months ago, and I just totally forgot about it, so I haven't read it yet. It looks like more weird trippiness. I think they're on like issue 4 or whatever, but I guess I'll give this a shot. Stray Bullets, Sunshine and Roses, #1. Got Shaft #3. Looking forward to reading this. Just solid writing on this, and I think David Walker is going to be writing the new Cyborg comic when it comes out in June, I think. But yeah, and also Ed Brubaker's Velvet, and Steve Epton, I should say, Secret Lives of Dead Men. Really solid writing on this comic book as well. Looking forward to it. I've got a couple of other videos in the can. One of them I'm probably going to wait before I upload it. The other one I'll probably upload sorry, excuse me, in the next couple of days. And I do have a couple ideas for a couple of other videos that I'll try to get up in the next week or so. Just because I got a lot of free time now, I got a lot of time off of work, but then hopefully, I hope people will kind of like those videos. They're more a little bit in-depth type comic type things. Okay, anyway, that's it. I got to thank you very much for listening, and everybody have a great day.